All right, thanks everyone for joining. We have Kiké Hernandez now available. If you have any questions, please raise your hand.
It's a lot of questions. I'm supposed to be looking at somebody, but I don't get to see people's faces.
First questions from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Kiké, being that you're a player that plays so many different defensive positions, how impressive is what Chico is doing right now, not having as many reps as you guys doing?
Give you two answers. I can say it's really impressive because it actually is. Not just making the routine ones, but making the acrobatic ones as well. But at the same time, I played catch with Chico enough times to know what type of arm he has, and I've also seen Chico power shack a lot during BP. So I also know he can take some good routes and good reads off the bat, and we get to see it all the time in BP. So I don't think any of us thought that it was going to be a different case when you took it to the game, but he's definitely impressed everybody, and it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Have you seen him hit? Do you want him to hit?
I mean, yeah, I would like for him to hit, but I guess they don't let him, and he also said he hasn't swung a bat in a while, so yeah, I don't know. That's not my call.
How are you doing as far as your preparation is concerned? I know it's a bit of an odd time to be getting ready, but how close are you to being where you want to be with opening day 8 days away?
I mean, as close as I can be, I guess, for how long we've been here and the way I feel on the field, on defense, and play, hitting, seeing the ball. I'm starting to get my timing a little bit better now, my contact point and stuff. So I'm looking forward to playing this Dodgers series these next 3 days, and then playing against other teams and see if the awkwardness of no fans is the same when you're playing an opposing team as when you're playing an inter-squad game.
Yeah, you mentioned the awkwardness of no fans. How much are you a proponent of pumping in crowd noise, and how strange has it been with really no audio or no noise to speak of?
Well, I tend to be pretty loud, so I don't like the fact that everybody can hear me when I talk on the field. But I think it's an advantage when you're playing defense and you can actually get a clear sound of the crack of the bat, especially when you're playing outfield, to know whether the guys are barreling the ball, getting jammed, or hitting it off the end. But I have yet to hear the crowd noise. I wasn't here when they were auditioning the fake crowd. But I think we're going to be able to hear it tonight, hopefully, and I guess I'll be able to answer that question whenever I hear it for the first time.
Congratulations to you and Mariana, expecting your first child. I know you still have time to become a dad, but has that changed your perspective at all about moving forward in your life, as well as was there ever a thought of you opting out?
Thank you, first of all. Yeah, I mean, I think once you find out that you're pregnant and that you go to the doctor and they say that your child, even though it's in there, it's healthy and everything, things start changing a little bit. Your perspective of things start changing. It's definitely a little bit scary to think that we don't know what's going to happen with this virus, with this thing, and how it's going to change the world in the future. And for me personally, maybe if it was any other year, I would have considered the thought of opting out. But when you're a free agent, I don't think you get that commodity of sitting back and choosing to delay free agency 1 year. I think free agency is something that everybody works for their entire lives, especially when you've been here and played in the big leagues, and it takes a while for you to get to this point. And for me, also being able to be a free agent, still in my 20s, it's kind of a you can say quote unquote luxury these days, because 30 is kind of like the new 40 in baseball now. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, thinking about the team that we have this year and the opportunity that we have, at least on paper, to do something special this year, is something that kept me motivated to come back and, just not think about the what ifs or anything, and just here to play it, to have fun, and hopefully to win that World Series trophy.
Thank you, Kiké.
Next question is from Dave Bassett. Go ahead, Dave.
Kiké, have you and some of the other players that are free agents after this season that have been part of this team for a while talked about the fact that this could be your last run, your last dance with the Dodgers trying to win it?
There's been, I'm not gonna lie, there's been a comment here and there. But at the same time, we just, nothing in this life is guaranteed. And right now, the only thing we have guaranteed right now is this season that's ahead of us. And I think all of us, even though free agency could be, the back of our minds or whatever, it can creep in your thoughts here and there. I think we're all very focused in what we want to accomplish this year, and what the goal for us as a unit is. And I think we're all looking forward to this year and not thinking really about next year, because it's going to be a short season. It's going to be a very different season. So we just want to make the best of it and find a way to make this season seem like as normal as possible.
Are you comfortable with everything that you've had to go through to be able to be on the field as far as the protocols to protect you guys from the virus?
So far, yeah. Obviously, we haven't played another team. We haven't traveled. We don't know really what that's going to be like. I heard that we may get umpires flying on the plane on team flights with us. So when you're thinking about all of us in this clubhouse and the accountability that we need to have for all of us to stay healthy, because I mean none of us wants to be the reason why a few people get test positive, or we don't want to be the reason why the season gets put in jeopardy. So when not only the guys that are in your clubhouse you got to be accountable for, and you also have to think about the other team and the umpires, and then all the hotel people and the bus drivers and all that. I think that's going to be a different talk there. But for now, being in LA, just coming to the field and going back home, I feel safe for now. Things could be a little different in 2 weeks, but for now, I feel safe. I think we're doing a good job as a team, as an organization here, keeping us safe and following all the rules. I think we're doing a good job of that. So hopefully all of 29 other teams can do the same thing, and we can play these 60 games and have a full postseason and have a champion and all the normal things that would happen in any other year.
Thank you.
Siguiente pregunta de Diana Alvarado. Adelante. Siguiente pregunta de Claudia. Adelante.
Hola, Kiké. Felicidades primeramente a ti y a tu esposa por el bebé. Tengo dos preguntas. Ahora que están haciendo estos partidos intra-squads, ¿qué tan complicado es seguir estos protocolos de salud?
Primero, muchas gracias por el bebé. En cuanto a, como contesté a base, yo entiendo que por ahora nosotros estamos siguiendo todas las reglas. Todo el mundo estamos teniendo mucho cuidado por el terreno. Por ahora, mientras está controlada la cosa, porque somos nosotros mismos y tenemos las reglas que están siendo bien estrictas, las estamos siguiendo. Yo creo que los muñequitos pueden cambiar un poquito cuando empecemos a jugar contra otros equipos y cuando empecemos a viajar y eso. pero por ahora la cosa se siente bastante controlada, ya que no tenemos acceso a ver a mucha gente de afuera y cosas así. So, si nos mantenemos yendo a nuestras casas y del parque a la casa y de la casa al parque y cosas así, o sea, teniendo mucho cuidado y siguiendo todas las reglas, yo entiendo que vamos a estar bien, pero el problema va a ser cuando empecemos a viajar y tengamos un poquito más contacto con más gente, pero por ahora yo entiendo que todos nos sentimos bastante seguros de estar aquí.
¿Y cómo ha sido compartir el campo con Chico? La sensación ahora, todo el mundo hablando, ¿qué es lo que te impresionó de él?
Nada, Chico, como hemos dicho, Chico siempre está trabajando, Chico cuando él viví, siempre está chagueando, o sea, él lo coge como si estuviera haciendo ejercicio, él se para en el centrofield y empieza a buscar la bola, lee los batazos y como diríamos nosotros, power jack, pero nosotros sabemos que Chico fue tremendo pelotero antes de que cambiara de profesión a ser un clubby, pero definitivamente Chico ha hecho unas jugadas con nosotros que tal vez un left field normal de Grandes Ligas no haría y obviamente eso es lo que más nos ha impresionado hasta ahora.
Muchas gracias.
Next question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead, Jorge.
Hey, what's up, Kiké? You hear me?
But, yeah.
So you mentioned a couple times here that things are gonna get more complicated when you guys start traveling and all that. So a couple guys over the last week or so have mentioned that you guys have been kind of talking about maybe having some kind of, I don't know, rules or code of conduct that amongst your players themselves, saying, how you guys handle yourselves off the field. Have you guys talked more about that? Has that been decided on?
We haven't really sat down as a group to talk about it. I think right now, if you have common sense, you know what you can and can't do. I think a little bit down the road in a few days when the group starts shrinking a little bit and we start getting ready for the actual season. And I think that conversation, that sit down is going to have to happen. I've said that the travel worries us, and I think the main reason why it's worried, why we're worried about it is because we don't really know what that's going to look like. Once we start traveling, we start seeing how things are flowing and stuff. I think it's going to be easier to answer the question about whether or not we feel safe, during the season. But for now, just have common sense, know what's at stake, and know what could be at stake if you do something stupid and not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting basically the entire team and the entire coaching staff and everybody that's working really hard to make this possible. It's getting put at risk. So for now, just have common sense and just don't be an idiot.
Thanks.
Next question from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Kiké. Congrats on the upcoming baby. You get used to the pregnancy body, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the pumped-in crowd noise, it sounds like MLB is encouraging teams to do this so that things aren't heard from the field to the dugout and vice versa. How necessary do you think that is?
We'll see. Like I said earlier, I haven't heard it yet. I don't know what that's going to sound like. I don't know how accurate it is, how realistic it's going to be. I think maybe it's going to help guys, the guys that play with a lot of emotion and stuff. I think it's probably going to help them, be themselves on the field, because I think it can get a little awkward when you're being all emotional and yelling and fist pumping and stuff when you can absolutely hear every single thing that's going on in the field. Hopefully it sounds real, and hopefully hopefully it makes it sound more or make it feel more like a real game and not like, even though it's an inter-squad game, it just feels like a live VP or a sim game or something. So hopefully that gives it a little bit more of a feel of a real big league game.
You talk about this team having a chance to do something special. I think it's consensus the Dodgers are the most talented team in the National League. Do you think 60 games is enough of a separator, for a team as good as the Dodgers are? You've been through some slow starts over the years in LA, but is that enough of a separator?
You gotta take what's given to you, and 60 games is all we have, and we've gone off to slow starts. Last year we got off to a great start. I think that we have the talent to know what's happening. That we know, we're very aware that anything can happen in a 60-game season. There's no small enemy when it comes to a 60-game season. We have some very talented teams in our division that could be very dangerous in the 60-game stretch. But we just got to take it as we're down, as we're trying to chase somebody in our division from day one. I think if we from day one, if we play like our heads on fire, I think we're going to be all right. There's going to be a 60-game season, and there's going to be a postseason, just like if we played 162 games. So, just like 60 games could not be enough to call it to separate ourselves from the rest. I think if we win our division, we're going to go into the postseason as if we won 100 games or something. So I think we just got to look at 60 games, do whatever it takes to reach the playoffs, and then once we reach the playoffs, we just look back and, hey, we just played 162 games, and we're here in October, and we're ready to do what we want to do, which is get to the World Series again and win it this time. And I know there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be after us because the media keeps hyping us up, and we're a very good team, and everybody's going to want to beat the Dodgers. So we are very aware that when teams play us, their talent's going to be elevated. They're going to be, they're going to be, every single game is going to be a meaningful game, and it's also going to make this season very exciting.
Thank you.
Another question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Kiké. So this year, the replay room is not going to be available to players during the season. I'm just wondering how that's going to affect you personally, and you think the team as a whole.
There's some guys that depend on it a lot. I see it as going back to the basics. Even though I haven't been in the big leagues forever, I also was playing in the minor leagues when video era wasn't that hot yet, you can say. I don't think I even got to watch video when I was even in AAA. So the video room was introduced to me when I got to the big leagues, and I played plenty of baseball without looking at my swing in slow-mo in between every inning. So I just think it's going to be a little more like spring training in terms of you're not going to have video available, and it's going to go back to having that feel and go and playing old school baseball. And in terms of adjustments, you just got to know, you got to be aware of what adjustments you need to make from at bat to at bat without watching video. And I think that's going to help a lot of guys. I think it's going to hurt a lot of guys, but I want to be positive, and I want to say that that's going to help me because it's also going to help me not overthink my swing, and it's just going to let me go out there and play baseball. And then once the game is over, I get to watch my at-bats.
Thank you.
Una pregunta de Diana Alvarado. Adelante.
Hola, Kiké.
Hola, funcionó.
Finalmente, gracias a Dios. Quique, felicitaciones para ti y para Mariana. Cuéntanos cómo ha sido vivir esta noticia, ¿no? Tan bonita de esperar a tu primer hijo, cómo ha sido la convivencia con Mariana y tu perspectiva en general, ¿no? Al béisbol, a ti como persona.
Mano, súper emocionante. Hace que, o sea, y no importa que por lo que está, por las circunstancias que estemos pasando, nos hace por lo menos, o sea, tener algo que estar emocionado, que por lo que estar, o sea, felices de mirar hacia el futuro y a la vez da un poquito de miedo, las cosas que están pasando en el mundo. O sea, yo entiendo que este año 2020 es ha sido uno de los años más difíciles en el tiempo que yo he estado vivo, no tan solo en lo personal, porque yo no puedo decir que nos ha afectado, o sea, muchísimo a nosotros, porque pues, por circunstancias de la vida, pero para el mundo entero ha sido un año muy difícil, pero a la misma vez un bebé siempre es una bendición, no importa el tiempo que sea, y nosotros estamos súper contentos y súper emocionados, y a la vez me da algo también, no da solo la pelota, no da solo mi esposa, o sea, me da también otro rol, otro título en mi vida en lo personal, y ahora soy papá y yo estoy súper contento de ser papá y listo para lo que venga.
Espero que no tengas síntomas del embarazo mientras te tengamos en la cancha, Quique. Oye, finalmente, Quique, el estadio de los Dodgers es el que más aficionados lleva, ¿no? En todo el país. ¿Cómo va a ser jugar sin tener el apoyo de ellos en el estadio?
Va a ser difícil. Yo creo que no nos vamos a acostumbrar, no va a llegar ningún momento. Yo creo que la temporada va a ser muy fuerte, demasiado fuerte para llegar a un momento donde nos vamos a acostumbrar a jugar sin fanáticos. Pero a la misma vez, o sea, eso es lo que hay y tenemos que hacerlo, porque no podemos tener excusa de que, mira, no estamos jugando bien porque no hay fanaticada, ¿no? O sea, lo que es igual no es ventaja y no hay fanaticada en ningún estadio. O sea, donde vayas a ir va a ser igual en todos lados, va a ser la misma pelota, o sea, no va a haber mucho home field advantage, como quien dice. Tan solo que el equipo local pues, va a tener el último chance de ganar el juego, como quien dice, pero lo que igual no es ventaja, así que todo el mundo tiene lo mismo. Dodger Stadium definitivamente no va a ser lo mismo sin fanáticos, pero nada, si Dios quiere, pues vamos a traer un campeonato aquí y vamos a hacer que esa fanaticada se emocione, al igual que si estuvieran aquí en el estadio con nosotros.
Thank you, Kiké. Thanks, everyone. Doc will be with us shortly.